You can adjust the transition in the timeline, but you can use more precise and extensive controls in the Effect Controls panel. In the editing workspace, the Effects Controls panel shares a pane in the source monitor, here. As the name suggests, it lets you precisely control any effect, including the inherent properties of a clip like motion, opacity, or volume, video and audio effects that you add to a clip, and it also lets you manipulate transitions. The function and the appearance of the Effects Control panel changes according to what's selected in the timeline. So, when I select this transition, its settings are here in the Effects Control panel. I can see the transition's duration and its alignment here in this pull-down menu. This one is centered at the cut. I can see a representation of the first clip here and the second clip here. If I press this play button, it previews the transition using the A and B thumbnail. But if I click this button, it shows actual sources instead. My Effects Control panel shows the timeline view over here. If yours is hidden, click this button. This timeline view graphically represents the transition here. The outgoing clip, the surfing movie, is represented here in the A track, and the incoming clip, the walking up the beach clip, is represented here in the B track. The original cut point is here. So if I change the duration of this transition, you can see it in this timeline view. If I change the alignment, you can see it also. That was start at the cut, here's end at the cut, and here we're back at centered at the cut. So when you look at the transition this way, in the timeline view, it's easier to see how the transition blends frames from one shot with the other. Before I added the transition, the A shot ended here at the cut point, and that was the last frame you saw. And the B shot, walking up the beach, started here, and that was the first frame you saw. But the transition blends this shot 15 frames earlier than its in point, and this shot 15 frames after its out point. I can change this duration and placement manually too, by just dragging here. Now I can see the duration is 1 second 24 frames long. I can also change its alignment here to some custom alignment. Now I'm going to continue to see more of the surfing shot for longer. I'll return it to centered at the cut. So whenever you add a transition, you must set its alignment and its duration, and you can customize it here in the effects controls. Of course, there are other transitions besides cross dissolves, and many of them have custom settings.